Tonight on NBN News, a pilot's lucky escape making an emergency landing in the Hunter Valley. Qantas responds after shocking video emerges of baggage handlers hurling luggage. And the Socceroos' final preparations as they try to make history against Argentina tomorrow morning. NBN News headed your way tonight from 6.
This is insane.
From the impossible cathedral ceiling.
It's just so special.
To her most intimate reveals yet.
Welcome to my boudoir.
Discover Shayna's own personal style. New Country Home Rescue. Wednesday on 9. Get 2 or more NRMA car, home, boat or caravan insurance policies and you could score yourself a deal. A little HEL&P brought to you by NRMA Insurance.
You'll get everything you need at your local IGA this Christmas.
Australian lamb 4-quarter chops only $15 per kilogram. And delicious Australian mangoes just $2 each. Now at IGA.
What's your pitch?
Forget the pitch. You've got an itch.
That itch could be dandruff. Silence it. Head and Shoulders removes up to 100% dandruff and itch. Head and Shoulders.
For me, Christmas starts at Bunnings. If I'm buying for my mum, my sisters in particular, or even like my friends, there's always something I can find here off the shelf straight away. They're going to love it. And I'm going to love it because they're the lowest prices.
Esky wheeled hard cooler, only $99. 18-volt battery 4-pack, $249. Clamshell sandpit, just $12.50.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Your Bunnings Kempsey North is moving soon.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Jane's in Jingle Hell, shopping for gifts and goodies that'll make or break Christmas. Luckily, she's using OnePass to get free delivery from Kmart, Target, Catch and Bunnings Warehouse for just $4 a month. OnePass. Start your free trial today.
At Fantastic, we're proud to be Aussie. That's why we manufacture a range of sofas right here, so your family can relax. Mom! Or sorta. Fantastic furniture. Find your fantastic.
It's the little things that make Christmas special. That's why we're helping you make the most of every moment. With great fresh specials like sweet, juicy Australian-grown strawberries 250 grams, now just $2.90 a punnet. Another way we're helping you get your woolies wear. Head to Chemist Warehouse and save on big brands like Bondi Protein Co. Slim It Blend, chocolate or vanilla, $31.49 each. Nicotinell chewing gum, 2 milligrams, $32.99 each. And Ferrograd C, $19.99. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
There's an attack.
It's already here.
I need warriors. Yeah!
Stop right there. I'm in.
The exit. Premiere.
How many of you are there?
Not enough. Justice League. Tonight, 7:30 on 9.
Celebrate Christmas with Delta.
Gwen Stefani.
Conrad Sills.
Brian Adams.
Hanson. Next Saturday, 7:30 on 9. At Fantastic, we're proud to be Aussie. That's why we manufacture a range of sofas right here, so your family can relax. Mom! Or sorta. Fantastic furniture. Find your fantastic.
Relieve muscle and back pain fast with Voltaren Rapid 12.5 from Chemist Warehouse. It absorbs fast and starts working quickly. Voltaren Rapid 12.5 liquid capsules 20s is just $6.99. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
Light and Easy partners with home care package providers so older Australians can have affordable access to healthy, delicious meals. In fact, home care package recipients could even save 70% off the cost of their meals. Light and Easy even offers a new range of meals designed specifically for older Australians.
It's given me back my independence. It's giving me back my health. It's just wonderful.
For more information about our award-winning healthy meal delivery service, call us on 13 15 12.
And another thing, what's the big deal with the internet? Well, when you switch to Dodo, you'll get $10 off your NBN for the first 12 months. No, it's no biggie. although it is pretty big. Get the real deal with Dodo.
It's the little things that make Christmas special. That's why we're helping you make the most of every moment. With great fresh specials like sweet, juicy Australian-grown strawberries 250 grams, now just $2.90 a punnet. Another way we're helping you get your woolies worth.
Refresh your home now at Harvey Norman with quick delivery available on selected furniture. Enjoy powered reclining, headrests and lumbar support in the feature-packed Bradford 3-seater fabric sofa. Only $2,999. The spacious Coro fabric modular sofa is a versatile design. Great value at only $3,299. Impress your guests with the Rhodes 7-piece dining suite. Only $2,599. Don't miss out. Order now from Harvey Norman for quick delivery on selected in-stock furniture. The dirty, rotten scoundrel, shattering multiple women's lives.
So I was married my dream guy.
Conned, frauded,
Yeah, $19,000.
and taken to the cleaners.
33,200,000.
Now their hearts are set on revenge.
What other ways to take him down?
Plus, superstar family The Cause.
Always talked about Australia coming back.
Rocking Australia. 60 minutes.
Tonight on NBN News, 2 hit and killed by a car, exchanging details after a crash on Sydney's Anzac Bridge. Emergency services sent scrambling as a pilot makes a hard landing in the Hunter Valley. A viral video puts baggage handlers working for Qantas under scrutiny, and the Socceroos promise to step up against Lionel Messi facing his Argentinian side in tomorrow's World Cup clash. For all those stories and more, watch NBN News, headed your way from 6.
I'm antiviral.
And I'm antiviral too. Because if you test positive to COVID-19, antiviral medicines can help reduce your risk of serious illness. You have to act fast.
So ask your GP about antiviral medicines as soon as you test positive.
New Credelio Plus protects your dog from ticks, fleas, plus worms. So you can be close. Credelio Close. Because yours is a love that's pure, Credelio Plus uses an extra purified active ingredient that protects against ticks and fleas. And Credelio Plus protects against heartworm and intestinal worms. So try Credelio Plus and make sure nothing comes between you and your dog. Stay Credelio Close with Credelio Plus.
How to be a good mate. First, be ready with Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance. So when you let your friend drive your car, they're covered the same as you. Then, lend your keys to a mate. And enjoy the fact it's not you doing the heavy lifting. Search Allianz Car Insurance to get your quote today. Allianz.
Andy can't stop Ashwin. Loan application time.
Applying for a loan isn't as hard as you think. With an easy online application, ANZ GoBiz is the loan without the groan. Search ANZ GoBiz. Holiday season at Telstra, you can enjoy your favourite Google apps on a great value range of 5G phones starting from just $299. Plus, get bonus Telstra Plus points when you recycle or trade in selected old tech. Visit Telstra today.
I'm coming home, baby, now. I'm coming home now, right away. I'm coming home, baby, now.
Find your way home with Domain.
Shut up and take my money.
Your time to crack the snack starts now.
Prepare for 6 delicious nights on 9.
Yeah, to replicate the snack.
Can the greatest chefs recreate our most iconic snacks?
It looks like salt and pepper calamari.
Snack Masters starts Sunday at 7 on 9.
Exchanging details after a minor prank cost 2 young drivers their lives on Sydney's Anzac Bridge. A pilot makes an emergency landing in the Hunter Valley. A bomb scare closes off parts of mid-north coast beaches. Rev heads and mullet magic hit the Hunter. And final preparations in Doha as the Socceroos try to make history.
This is NBN News.
With Gavin Morris.
Good evening. A minor bingle on Sydney's Anzac Bridge has ended in a heartbreaking loss of life. 2 people killed while exchanging details on the road. The crash was one of multiple in the past 24 hours, with 6 people dead and more than 24 injured across the state.
The Anzac Bridge shut down in the wake of an accident that shouldn't have happened. 2 people lost their lives here last night because they stopped to do the right thing.
A 25-year-old female and a 38-year-old male were exchanging details or doing what you need to do after you've had a minor collision.
Minutes before midnight in the city-bound lanes of the bridge, those 2 drivers were allegedly struck down by another car, the Holden Commodore forcing the 2 stationary vehicles to crush the victims. A taxi driver also caught up in the crash.
One of the things that will be a focus of the police investigation is what the second 2 vehicles were doing prior to the collision.
Police believe speed was likely a factor in this deadly crash. The Commodore, which crushed the 2 victims, now in the hands of crash investigators.
Those investigators now tasked with crash scenes across the state because devastatingly, these lives were among 6 lost in 24 hours.
One, we lost a male driver on the northern beaches this morning. We've also lost a 7-year-old motorcyclist down in the Hume area near Goulburn. We've also lost a young man out at Deniliquin.
Emergency services faced with so many sad scenes and also chaotic ones. Peak hour turned major mission on the M4 at Prospect yesterday afternoon, with 7 cars and a truck all in a pile-up. 21 people, including 10 children, were assessed by paramedics. Tonight, though, heartbreak for 6 families.
A short couple of weeks away from Christmas, we know that there's going to be 6 people that aren't at family Christmas tables this year having meals with their families. It is absolutely tragic.
Lauren Tomasi, NBN News.
A pilot has been praised after making an emergency landing in the Hunter Valley. Hannah Taylor joins us live from the newsroom. Hannah, the pilot was unscathed.
Gav, it's been declared as miraculous by first responders, the pilot walking away without injuries and his aircraft intact after making the emergency landing on a rural road at Hebden, north of Singleton, at around 7:30 a.m. this morning. The light fixed-wing aircraft made a hard landing on the gravel of Scrumlow Road. Emergency services found the pilot waiting beside the small plane when they arrived. 4 rural fire service crews attended and 2 from fire and rescue called in to help with decanting fuel spilling from the aircraft. It's believed that the aircraft suffered an engine failure, Gav, which sparked the emergency landing.
An ominous object that washed up on a popular Port Macquarie beach this morning has turned out to be an old naval flare. Mid-North Coast Police approached the Australian Defence Force amid fears the item was a bomb. Early inquiries suggest the flare has been in the water for years and doesn't pose a risk. Defence Force personnel will travel from Sydney to examine the device. The Prime Minister is trying to quell a power struggle with the states over a plan to lower energy bills. Pressure is on the federal government to reveal its next move as the Christmas deadline draws closer.
Showing some love to South Australian towns on the flood front line.
And if you do come straight to us.
His biggest problem is soaring power prices are here to stay. The Prime Minister treading a difficult path as he works on a solution.
Clearly, there are limits on what the Commonwealth can do by itself.
And there are limits on how much the states want to pitch in.
It's my expectation that South Australians won't be punished because we've done the right thing and led the effort around transition.
A push for a price cap to make coal-fired power cheaper has New South Wales and Queensland pushing for compensation over lost revenue.
The federal government is working these issues through cooperatively with state and territories.
A price cap on gas could also form part of a major package of energy interventions to be discussed by National Cabinet on Wednesday and unveiled before Christmas.
What we're aimed clearly at doing is at putting downward pressure on prices for both businesses and also for households.
Because the cost of not acting would be much higher.
And for businesses who are exposed to these prices, this gets very nasty indeed, and some businesses may struggle to hang on.
This is a global phenomenon that is occurring as a result of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
To starve President Putin of funding for his war, Australia today joined a new multinational effort to impose a price cap on Russian oil, stopping major economies paying more than $60 a barrel, a move softened by Moscow's plan to increase exports to China and India. Eliza Edwards, NBN News.
A bipartisan group of federal MPs will fly to Taiwan tomorrow to reaffirm Australia's desire for peace in the Indo-Pacific. There are concerns the first such delegation in 3 years could anger China. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese insists it is not a government visit. A Wonji man accused of hitting and killing a motorcyclist with a ute is tonight behind bars. A 49-year-old Christian Langham died at the Fennell Bay scene on Thursday night. The Maryville local ran a custom-made motorcycle garage and has been described as personable and passionate about his craft. Police arrested the 33-year-old ute driver after he was released from hospital yesterday, charged him with 9 offences, including dangerous driving, occasioning death. He was refused bail in Newcastle local court today and returns to court in December. A man has been airlifted to hospital after he was trampled by a horse near Maitland. Paramedics were called to the property at Oakhampton at around 8:30 this morning. The 23-year-old sustained back injuries and was flown to John Hunter Hospital in a stable condition. A gathering at a Highfields home has taken an ugly turn. It's believed methylated spirits were thrown onto a backyard fire on Highfields Parade, sparking an explosion. 4 people were taken to John Hunter Hospital, 3 in a serious condition. 1 had minor burns. Plans for a new rail link near Newcastle are on track, with the state government announcing it will secure land for a dedicated freight corridor. There are now hopes it will ease congestion at level crossings, but West Wallsend residents are concerned the route could be disruptive.
This Adamstown level crossing has been a bugbear for decades. The boom gate's closing more than 200 times a day for passing trains.
Sit here for 20 minutes sometime. And no matter what time of the day or night, you can sit here as far as Bridges Road.
Now plans to ease rail congestion are going full steam ahead. The state government confirming the route for a dedicated freight line bypassing the city. The Lower Hunter corridor will run between Fassifern and Hexham, stretching 30 kilometres long and 60 metres wide, allowing for more trains and faster journeys.
The more we can get onto trains, the greater the efficiency and the less the cost. And it is costing businesses and the consumer right now.
There are hopes it will cater for increased rail traffic, especially with legislation passed to ease restrictions on the Port of Newcastle's planned container terminal, and also pave the way for faster passenger trains on the existing line.
We can't speed up those passenger trains unless we untangle the freight trains.
The new route will pass close to the sleepy town of West Wallsend, where not everyone's on board.
I think it'll cause quite a lot of noise and pollution in the area, which is something we're not used to here.
Not a lot of information has been put out about it.
Noise was a key issue raised at last year's community consultation. The state government says it refined the corridor accordingly. A construction timeline is yet to be announced.
We would hope that sometime in the next 5 to 15 years we would see it, if not substantially commenced, fully constructed.
But some won't hold their breath.
Should have been done 40 years ago.
and I won't see it in my lifetime.
Hannah Taylor, NBN News.
The loved ones of the contract cleaner who died at Jesmond Woolworths are making a public plea to help them lay the 39-year-old to rest. Charlestown local Malarato Harrison was crushed by cleaning equipment while on shift last month. Her friends have launched a GoFundMe hoping to raise $20,000 for funeral costs. Almost $4,000 has been raised so far. Rotary volunteers have experienced the Australian version of getting snowed in this Christmas. Their truck full of trees bogged in Melbourne. The setback has forced the organisation to postpone its annual Christmas tree charity drive on the Central Coast, pushing it back to next weekend. All profits from the sales will go to local community-based projects. There was, however, an early Christmas treat for these Hunter youngsters. With many clients unable to attend shopping centres, the Cerebral Palsy Alliance held a meet and greet with Santa at its Crowders Bay Therapy Centre today. All getting a happy snap and a present, the event coincided with International Day of People with a Disability. Beautiful though, lovely conditions right across the region today. Plenty of sunshine, warming temperatures into the mid-20s. You're watching NBN News, still to come. Smoke blankets in Northern Rivers neighbourhood as a home is ruined by fire. Handled without care, the viral video sparking traveller outrage. And dangling dangerously over water, how this truck driver's made it out alive.
It's the little things that make Christmas special. That's why we're helping you make the most of every moment. With great fresh specials like sweet, juicy Australian-grown strawberries 250 grams, now just $2.90 a punnet. Another way we're helping you get your woolies worth. Skin loses plumpness throughout the day. Try Olay. Unlike regular collagen, it penetrates better. Olay Collagen Peptide Cream hydrates better than a $500 cream. Plump and bouncy skin all day long.
What's your pitch?
Forget the pitch. You've got an itch.
That itch could be dandruff. Silence it. Head and Shoulders removes up to 100% dandruff and itch. Head and Shoulders. It's the little things that make Christmas special. That's why we're helping you make the most of every moment. With great fresh specials like sweet, juicy Australian-grown strawberries 250 grams, now just $2.90 a punnet. Another way we're helping you get your woolies worth. Introducing Jumpstart Activate by Light and Easy, the new complete approach to healthy weight loss and better health.
With Light and Easy, I've lost 34 kilos, and I feel fantastic.
Jumpstart your success today. Visit lightandeasy.com.au.
With Sportsbet's new Super Fantasy Soccer app, you can win a share in 500 grand. So we only had enough left for Chris Ronaldo to promote it.
Augusta!
You got it, mate. Download the app now and play for free from Sportsbet. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, and the world... Cocoa Pops, just like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy.
The pain relief brand Australians trust. To get us back to the things we love doing. And back to the people we love too. Panadol. Care starts here.
This Christmas, wake up to the dream of making music with Yamaha. And from Go to Pro, we have you covered with the best prices nationwide. This Christmas, make music with Yamaha and Muso's Corner.
Looking for a beach house or a tree house? With more properties for sale than anywhere else, we make it easier. Realestate.com.au, Australia's #1 address in property.
At Macca's, we've donated 500 tonnes of produce to people in need over the last 10 years.
That's like a lot.
Changing for the better? We're on it.
A driver has somehow survived a crash that left his truck dangling in between two bridges in the US. He managed to scramble to safety as the semi plunged into the icy river below.
It's a sight that has to be seen to be believed, and the driver behind the wheel of this truck is lucky he still has that chance.
The trailer is hanging upside down between the east and the westbound lanes.
Police say it was 2 a.m. when somehow the truck crashed, flipped, dived and became wedged like this between lanes on a bridge near Chicago. The driver's cab plunged towards the icy winter water and then it caught alight.
The cab is still on fire and the driver's on the counter floor.
We searched the cab, found nobody. We started sweeping the waterway, was just no luck.
In the darkness came the screams of a man wanting help.
We did hear a little bit of yelling. He was kind of clinging to one of the pillars back over there.
Bruised, cold, but alive, the 32-year-old was rescued, taken to hospital before being released. Heavy machinery was brought in to haul the vehicle back to the road. Only that didn't go to plan. The UPS truck was empty. Police believe that, speed and wind could be factors in this crash. Eventually, the scene was cleared, the road reopened. Tonight, the driver is at home and seasoned officials are amazed at that.
It's a miracle that he's okay, the driver's okay.
In the United States, Jonathan Kersley, NBN News.
Fire has destroyed a home at Alstonville in the Northern Rivers. Smoke billowed from the roof and windows as flames tore through the property around 1:30 this afternoon. Thankfully, no one was home at the time.
The exposures next door neighbours' houses either side were under threat, so called for backup and crews arrived quickly. Fire Rescue New South Wales and Rural Fire Service, a joint effort, managed to contain the fire to the house of origin. So it took a little while to bring under control.
One person was taken to Lismore Base Hospital and is being monitored for smoke inhalation. Baggage handlers have been filmed slamming down suitcases and hurling luggage onto conveyor belts at Melbourne Airport. The staff members have been sacked, their bosses labelling the behaviour as unacceptable.
An airport worker holds a suitcase high above his head, then slams it onto the conveyor belt. Bag after bag, 3 workers forcefully hurl luggage to the ground. At times laughing as they toss and even kick personal possessions.
Disrespecting someone's property like that is awful. That shouldn't be happening to our bags.
Stuff I've got in my bag is like crystals and rare minerals that we do for FIFO. If any of them get broken, I get in a lot of trouble, which means they're buggered.
The footage was taken at Melbourne Airport, these workers handling bags for Qantas.
Absolutely appalled. For us, we were quite shocked when we saw that footage.
The airline contracts Swissport for its ground handling services. The company today confirming the staff members in question have been stood down pending an urgent investigation.
They follow our policies and their procedures. The fact that they've acted as quickly as what they did and decisively is a clear indication that those policies we have in place are being implemented.
At Gold Coast Airport, this. Baggage handlers recklessly removing luggage from a Virgin flight. Virgin says it's also investigating the matter to ensure all guest baggage is loaded in line with standard operating procedures. Qantas doesn't directly employ baggage handlers, only outsources them from cargo services like Swissport. The airline has ensured the men featured in the video will never work for it again. Maggie Rayworth, NBN News.
Ricky Ponting has returned to his broadcasting role following a health scare during the Australia and West Indies Test in Perth. The former Test captain experienced chest pains and was rushed to hospital, but was back behind the microphone when play resumed today.
That's a really good learning curve for me yesterday, especially with what's happened over the last 12 or 18 months with really close people around us. But no, my little mate looked after me, he got me down there, and I'm back here shining new this morning.
Ponting stayed overnight for observation. It's a monumental step in Australia's history, an Indigenous voice in Parliament, representing First Nations people in policy making. But many remote communities say they're not yet to understand how their concerns and issues will trickle up, calling for more consultation before next year's referendum.
In the remote outback of Australia's central desert, Aboriginal communities like this one say they're being left behind as Prime Minister Albanese and his government forge ahead toward a voice to Parliament.
Right now, we are completely lost.
It's a far cry from the white walls and green lawns of Parliament House. Pressure is mounting from all sides of politics and Indigenous advisory groups for the Prime Minister to release new details on how the voice will benefit Indigenous Australians. People here say they're yet to understand what a voice will do for them.
Nobody ever tells us about it. We only hear in televisions what they talk about.
For those living in the bush, the gap isn't closing, it's getting wider. A Voice to Parliament hoped to bring the needs of First Nations people to the forefront of the political agenda. Yuendumu elder and senior Warlpiri man Ned Hardgrave says constitutional recognition is important, but community consultation must come first.
It can help. Only if you knew what it's all about. We don't know where it is, what's going to happen. And it's a big, big problem.
A problem that could see Albanese's yes majority come undone.
There is the need to have more detailed conversations and community consultation.
Without that, communities like Yuendumu fear they'll remain voiceless on the issues that matter to them most.
We have to be hopeful. We have to get this through because it is going to be good for not just for Aboriginal people, but it's going to be good for the country as a whole.
Stay with us. Coming up next, a free-diving world record attempt turns rescue attempt more than 100 metres below the water surface. A rare glimpse into missing fraudster Melissa Caddick's life, her last luxuries up for auction, and Mullet Fest returns to its rightful home in the Hunter Valley to crown Australia's best hairdo.
Entertaining season, the time for unannounced pop-ins and hosting at a moment's notice. Make sure you're always prepared with the mouth-watering Coles entertaining range. Mix and save any two for $15. That's value the Australian way.
At Fantastic, we're proud to be Aussie. That's why we manufacture a range of sofas right here, so your family can relax. Mom! Or sorta. Fantastic furniture. Find your fantastic.
Here's little thanks for all the hard work. Cool. See, I told you it wasn't a total.
Value means more with all our frozen classics from just $1. Grab yours at Macca's today.
It's the little things that make Christmas special. That's why we're helping you make the most of every moment. With great fresh specials like sweet, juicy Australian-grown strawberries 250 grams, now just $2.90 a punnet. Another way we're helping you get your woolies worth.
How to be a good mate. First, be ready with Allianz Comprehensive Car Insurance. So when you let your friend drive your car, they're covered the same as you. Then, lend your keys to a mate. And enjoy the fact it's not you doing the heavy lifting. Search Allianz Car Insurance to get your quote today. Allianz.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes.
Authors too once knew better words, now only use four-letter words. Right and prose.
How can I help you?
Newcastle Commercial Vehicles, 3 big brands, 1 location. Pinot, medium to heavy duty trucks and tippers. LEV, innovative value for money commercial vehicles. Iveco, master of small to heavy duty hauling. 5-time regional Hino Dealer of the Year. Newcastle Commercial Vehicles, Kid and Drive Verisealed.
This Christmas, wake up to the dream of making music with Yamaha. Shop in-store or online and make music this Christmas with Yamaha and Muso's Corner.
This year, it's Destination Outdoors with Domain. We could be hosting a crowd at our exclusive poolside resort, lingering longer in our idyllic country retreat, or waking to our tropical oasis. With a little mix and match, we can design a space, a time time and a place. Uniquely ours. Our summer of colour starts here. Outdoors with Domain.
You're watching NBN News. These are our top local stories. A Wanji man has been charged after a motorcyclist was struck and killed by a ute at Fennell Bay on Thursday night. The Australian Defence Force has been called to Port Macquarie amid fears a bomb had washed up on the beach. The item believed to be an old naval flare. The Woolgoolga community has been given its first look at the town's new $23 million sporting complex at its official opening today. Dozens of surfers with a range of different abilities took to the water on the Central Coast for the return of the Smiles on Dials, the event coinciding with the International Day of People with Disabilities. And hundreds have turned out trackside for the return of Gunnedar's Christmas Hams race meeting. A man who survived almost 20 hours in the sea after falling off a cruise ship has spoken about his ordeal. The 28-year-old battled jellyfish, rip currents and shark-infested waters before being rescued by the US Coast Guard.
The fall didn't kill me. You know, sea creatures didn't eat me. I feel like I was meant to get out of there.
James Michael Grimes says he has no memory of how he fell overboard, but denied being drunk. A change of pace now, and packages containing animal eyes have been sent to Ukrainian embassies across Europe, including Madrid, which have also been receiving a number of letter bombs in the last week. The government has called it a campaign of terror and has increased security. Blacking out. 125 metres below the surface of the ocean, a freediver found himself in deep trouble. But thanks to a professional crew of rescue divers, he was safely brought above water. The Spanish man named Miguel Lozano was trying to break the record for the deepest dive. A major moment on the world stage for the Prince and Princess of Wales, leading a star-studded lineup at the Earthshot Gala in Boston. Among the prize winners, a dedicated group of Indigenous women caring for the Great Barrier Reef.
The Prince and Princess of Wales. The future faces of the monarchy stepping out for the future of the planet. Kate in a bright green rental dress and the ultimate rewear, an emerald and diamond choker which once belonged to Diana. But tonight, William was the star.
It's my hope the Earthshot legacy will continue to grow, helping our communities and our planets to thrive.
Tonight, we celebrate those who are helping to protect our world.
Leading a lineup of big names on the green carpet asked to wear recycled fashion, David Beckham, Rami Malek, Annie Lennox, Ellie Goulding, and America's version of royalty, the Kennedys, Australia's US ambassador, Caroline Kennedy. Williams' Earthshot Prize inspired by her father, JFK, and his inspirational moonshot address, sending man on a path to the moon 60 years ago.
He understood that the goal would unite us and would bring out the best in us and would improve life on Earth, and I think that His Royal Highness is doing a similar kind of thing.
It was a packed day for the royals, the Prince and the President, while Kate warmed up the chilly Boston crowds.
It's been a turbulent week for the royals, but here tonight in Boston is Prince William's big moment. Why he's here, the future king's mission to have a global impact.
And a world away from the cameras and flashing lights, a small group of Queensland Indigenous women awarded a $1.8 million Earthshot Prize. For generations, they've been the quiet caretakers of the Great Barrier Reef. Today, global recognition.
It's humbling. We do this work. To be recognised for it is just phenomenal. There's a lot that needs to be done to look after our ocean, to look after the reef. And if we all work together and keep moving forward rather than thinking that, you know, it's too late.
Small steps towards that giant leap. This time for our planet. In Boston, Lizzie Poole, NBN News.
Believed to be an illegal immigrant, a paraglider has been caught on camera flying across Morocco's border into Spain's tiny North African enclave of Melilla. The stunt shocked two locals driving along the fence. European authorities haven't been able to track the migrant down and believe they're trying to flee Spain's mainland. The last of Melissa Caddick's luxury items will go under the hammer next week. The auction giving both buyers and curious eyes a rare glimpse into the conwoman's lavish lifestyle.
The remnants of a woman otherwise gone.
Many of the pieces in this sale have been shown in the paper with her wearing them.
This is the fruit of Melissa Caddick's alleged multi-million-dollar fraud. Chanel jackets, Louis Vuitton bags, plucked straight from her wardrobe. Auction staff telling us traces of her day-to-day, like mints and lipsticks, were found inside.
We're looking at somewhere over $50,000 for the collection.
On Monday, the last of her luxury possessions will be sold off to the highest bidder. Among the familiar, this 2018 Oscar de la Renta gown, the same one Melissa Caddick wore to a school fundraiser.
People are quite aware of which ones are hers without us telling them.
The 49-year-old conwoman vanished from here at her Dover Heights home 2 years ago. An inquest into her disappearance and presumed death continues in February. Investigations into her alleged $23 million Ponzi scheme are ongoing.
It's a very well-known story that for a lot of people carries very painful connotations.
Caddick's one-off jewellery worth 6 figures will also go under the hammer. Liquidators will use the funds to pay back victims.
The auction brings in people who have often never been to an auction room before but are quite intrigued by the fame, if you will, of the provenance of these pieces. Someone wanting, shall we say, a piece of history.
Isabella Revens, NBN News.
Today marks the International Day of People with Disability, increasing awareness and understanding as well as defying old-fashioned expectations. But every day, businesses big and small, including one of the biggest in Australia, celebrate that by focusing on what their employees can do rather than what they can't.
It's morning at Macca's Menai, and Sarah Hearn has kindly allowed me to do work experience with her at a job she has had for more than a decade.
Hi, girls.
And as it does in another 60 Maccas across Sydney, another client of Job Support, who find jobs for people with disabilities, gets on with the job.
I do about 5 days a week, and I just love my job.
Do you have a favourite part of your job?
My favourite part of my job will be cleaning the tables and chairs. That's my favourite job.
Where Job Support comes in, we provide the initial training, the ongoing support to make the whole thing work long term, which includes leaving home and getting there safely and reliably.
Job Support, actually, before she started work, made sure she could travel by herself.
I just catch a bus every day and every week.
She's a great little traveller now.
But also supporting Sarah, as it does in 60 other Sydney stores, is Macca's.
I can't tell you how it makes me feel to know that we've all made an impact on her life, helping her earn an income, build friendships, and also learn some skills.
As well as picking up the occasional annual in-store MVP.
I was so happy and so proud, and yeah.
Were you shocked?
No.
And neither are locals like Janice. It looks like you're doing the shopping list there about the nip over the road, are you?
Yeah.
Janice, a huge rap on Sarah's work.
Very.
Gee, you're emphatic.
Very positive.
I can tell.
We need more Sarahs in the world.
And let's not forget, the job is about earning a few bob too, to chase those travel dreams. Are you going to go anywhere in particular?
I just go down to England and all my big family, so...
To England?
Yeah.
Are you going to England? Because I think that's the expectation from Sarah.
Yes.
You got the tickets booked, or...?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like she's chipping in. But it's nice having a job.
Yes. I love my job so much, and all the customers and all the managers, all the crews, and I love them so much.
She's staying at Menai. There's no McDonald's Menai without Sarah.
Mike Dalton, NBN News.
Great stuff. Shifting gears now, though. They're loud, proud, excuse me, and not afraid to let their hair down. Hundreds of revellers have shown off their locks at the Hunters' annual Mullet Fest, the event capping off its first national tour, with plenty of action for Revheads too, all while raising funds for a good cause.
It's the universal symbol of bogan excellence, made famous by Billy Ray Cyrus and Hulk Hogan.
Mullet Fest has once again taken over the Hunter.
If ever there was going to be a party in the back, I feel like the Mullet Fest Grand Final has nailed it.
Business at the front, party at the back, ranging in all shapes and colours. Why the pink?
Because pink is my favourite colour and we got to vote on it. It's really cool.
It's about 4 years old now, so it's about 4 years of love and labour we got here.
The youngsters taking the stage to show off their luscious locks.
First and foremost, it's got to be cut, condition, but stage presence is really important. If you've got a mullet, you've got to own it.
Others celebrating a bit of Aussie culture.
Mate, who have you come as today? Steve Irwin, or the Mullet Hunter.
Mullet aficionados coming from as far as Perth and Alice Springs, representing an estimated 800 million people worldwide with the wacky haircuts. The event's not complete without a skid or two.
It was awesome. It's good sport, eh? Yeah. Rip in, bit of smoke, good for charity.
The crowd certainly needed a drink after that. What started at Curry Curry's Chelmsford Hotel in 2018 is now a global phenomenon. 500 people packing into the Hebburn Motorsport Park today.
They say that a mullet grows on you, and I feel like Mullet Fest has done exactly the same thing, and we've just continued to grow.
The competition may have had a shake-up this year, but it's still raising funds for the same good cause, the Mark Hughes Foundation.
We also just like to keep them in the forefront of people's minds. Brain cancer is something that really has touched our family.
Rob Douglas, NBN News.
I really do believe that they are responsible for the mullet renaissance because it is back, especially in sport. All right, but what about the Socceroos? They've got classy haircuts, all of them. Can they do it?
Oh, the whole of Australia certainly hope so, Gav. We'll preview the Socceroos' huge match after the break as the Aussies reveal their plans to try to contain Lionel Messi, and it could get fiery. Also ahead, more highs and lows from Qatar. We'll tell you how the round of 16 shapes up. And Marnus Labuschagne joins an exclusive list as Pat Cummins sends a scare through Aussie camp in Perth.
2 100% Aussie beef patties with melty cheese, fresh tomato, tangy sauce, and delicious sour cream. El Maco. It's good to have you back home.
Knock, knock. Whether your Christmas is small or big, Coles is making great value entertaining and gifting easy, so you can spend more time with the people you love. Is there any? That's value the Australian way at Coles.
Soccer is family, blood, passion. Soccer is everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for soccer fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
Wake up to younger looking skin with Olay Regenerous Retinol 24 Night Cream or Serum from Chemist Warehouse. It hydrates better than a $100 retinol cream and it's just $29.99 each. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
It's time wasting and you come to see out love is all you need, ain't no mystery out love. What a day, what a time.
It's the little things that really make Christmas special, so we're here to help you get your Woolies worth.
Carol, oh, Munchkin.
I got this.
My mug.
I got this.
Sushi time. Boom! Hey, I got one too. We should get sushi, Karen.
It's Carol. With eBay, you get the item you ordered or you get your money back.
Who's Karen? Everyone's a winner with eBay's money back guarantee.
And another thing, what's the big deal with the internet, huh? Well, when you switch to Dodo, you'll get $10 off your NBN for the first 12 months. That's no biggie, although it is pretty big. Get the real deal with Dodo.
There is still magic wherever you are. Cherish those golden to us this Christmas. Fragrant hazelnuts, smooth velvety chocolate. Say it with gold. Ferrero Rocher.
Giving is easier at Christmas with our lowest prices.
Security camera, only $89. Gender toolkit, just $29.99.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Lionel Messi is arguably the greatest footballer of all time and could be the man who stops Australia making the World Cup quarterfinals. The Socceroos know it and are promising to get up in the face of the Argentina superstar in tomorrow morning's sudden death showdown.
Opportunities like this don't come along often, but here they are, our Socceroos about to take aim at a football superpower.
The group games are past us now, and obviously it's a whole new ball game now. It's a one-off game.
Graham Arnold has never one to back away from a fight. They defied the critics in qualifying, and now they're doing it again in Doha. All for a captive audience back home who are riding every tackle, every save, every goal.
I think the universe is paying us back for all the hard work we've done, and the universe is looking down on us and is repaying the support.
If you're Argentina, it's very hard to escape the world's glare. This is the team's final training session, and as you can see, there are TV cameras and photographers absolutely everywhere, and they're following one man. With his golden touch and boots to match, Lionel Messi is nothing but class. Tomorrow will be his 1,000th match, and should Australia do the unthinkable, it could be his last international appearance.
We've got to be, on our game 100%. We've got to be switched on at all times and be alert to every situation because, it's going to be a team effort, a team collective. I don't think it can come down to just one individual trying to stop them.
We've got our game, we've got our way. We've got to be brave to play, and and make sure that we're in their faces for 90 minutes.
It's not the first time our Socceroos have stared down Argentina in a big match. In 1993, Arnold was on the pitch when they earned a 1-1 draw in a World Cup qualifier at home. Fast forward nearly 30 years and the belief inside camp is immense.
We've been named the invincible underdogs around the world, and everyone's an underdog until you have success.
The South Americans are wary of that. At his media conference, their coach heaped praise on the Aussies, saying it only takes one moment to turn a match. Arnie is hoping their moment could rewrite history.
They're ready. They just, this is a moment in their life that they've all been grabbing hold of, and we want more. We haven't finished yet.
In Doha, Clint Stanaway, NBN News.
The Socceroos will, of course, attempt to create history and qualify for the World Cup quarterfinals for the first time, but they are huge underdogs. Clint Stanaway reports.
Graham Arnold put it so beautifully in the lead up to this game. He said that everybody is an underdog until they taste success. And that's exactly the attitude the Australians are adopting ahead of this encounter. They're happy to assume the underdog tag ahead of a clash with Argentina. The might of Argentina, one of the superpowers of world football, a team that boasts one of the greatest footballers of all time, a guy by the name of Lionel Messi. This game is being played at the stadium behind me, about 20 k's out of Doha at Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. It is the scene of one of Australia's great triumphs. It's where we qualified for this World Cup with that exciting penalty shootout win over Peru. It was a night that Andrew Redmayne was the hero. It'd be nice if history repeated tomorrow morning.
Sure would. Well, the Socceroos are at long odds. If there's one thing this World Cup has shown is that anything can happen. This morning served up another thrilling example of that. Tournament favourites Brazil suffering a shock loss, while South Korea made a great escape.
The ecstasy and agony of the FIFA World Cup. A situation that seemed unimaginable 90 minutes earlier. Uruguay expected to beat Ghana and advance. South Korea needing a miracle against Portugal to stop them.
Korean Republic scrambling to get back, and they didn't get back in time.
The Koreans falling behind. At the same time, Uruguay hit the front.
He scored again.
Against the odds, South Korea pegged one back.
So there's an opportunity here for an equalising goal.
The real challenge, scoring a second. Fans on their phones keeping up to date. Then, in the final minute... An upset for the ages. Players and supporters left in tears.
But that was only half of the equation. Uruguay was still ahead 2-0. A third goal would have seen them progress. South Korea staying on the field, standing around a screen, watching their fairy tale come to life.
There it is. They are through.
Scenes of celebration. Uruguay left raging. First at the ref, then the VAR was in their sights. On what was a day of upsets, Brazil stunned in a 1-0 loss to Cameroon. They'll still enter the sudden death stages as the team to beat, while Switzerland secured their knockout spot with a 3-2 win over Serbia. Sam Jordan, NBN News.
Now here's what to expect in the round of 16.
So the final 16 in Qatar is now locked in, and the knockout stages begin early tomorrow morning. First up, it's the Netherlands taking on the USA. Then our Socceroos are looking to make history against Argentina. On Monday, defending champions France face Poland and England play Senegal. Tuesday sees Japan versus Croatia, and tournament favourites Brazil up against South Korea. The last places in the quarterfinals will be decided on Wednesday. Morocco battling Spain and Portugal taking on Switzerland. And that leaves us with 8 teams remaining. And next weekend, they'll fight for a place in the semis.
Pat Cummins has been put on ice after the Australian skipper was injured on day 4 of the first test against the West Indies. It came after another historic knock from Marnus Labuschagne as the Aussies set the visitors a target of 498 for victory.
Marnus Labuschagne was in the walls from the first ball he faced on day 4.
Quite clearly a concern there.
The West Indies headhunting Australia's most informed batsman, only to be left heartbroken.
A no ball. This looks like a no ball.
Finally some joy for the Windies when David Warner fell 2 runs short of his 50, while Labuschagne made the most of his second chance.
Wonderful shot to bring up a half-century.
More pain for the visitors when Kemar Roach suffered a thigh injury, Marnus adding to their misery with more runs. After a double century in the first innings, another major milestone in the second.
This is something special. The 100 coming off the double. Only the 8th batsman in Test history to do it.
Something that I've never done before in Test cricket, and obviously very proud.
Pat Cummins declared at lunch, but the captain didn't return due to quad soreness.
He had ice on his leg before, so I'm not too sure what's happened.
In his absence, former skipper Steve Smith stepped in for just the second time since Sandpapergate. Chasing nearly 500 for victory, the West Indies showed plenty of grit in Perth. They were none for 84 at tea. Zach Bailey, NBN News.
After the break, who made up ground on moving day at the Aussie Open?
Now at Harvey Norman, great deals on Intel laptops. The lightweight and flexible HP Pavilion X360 2-in-1 laptop, powered by the latest Intel processor, now $893, save over $600. Step up to this stylish powerhouse, the HP 15S. Super hot price, save $500. Or get this 15-inch HP with a powerful 12th-gen Intel Core i7 processor and save $500. More great deals at Harvey Norman now.
You'll get everything you need at your local IGA this Christmas.
Fuller Creamy Classics ice cream 4-pack varieties $4.50 each, half price. And Cadbury Favourites $3.52 to 373 grams, $6. Better than half price. Now at IGA.
Sisters, we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's enough for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, living on a prayer. Come to find out love is on the wall in the morning light. It's time wasting and you come to see out love is all you need, ain't no mystery. Out love. What a day, what a time.
It's the little things that really make Christmas special. So we're here to help you get your Woolies worth.
Soccer is family, blood, passion. Soccer is is everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for soccer fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
To us at Hellmann's, taste is everything. And we believe great taste starts with great ingredients, like Australian free-range eggs. Hellmann's, bring out the best.
Attention car lovers. Repco's about to ruin your Christmas surprise because you're probably getting this 5-litre Castrol Magnatec 10W40 for $29 or this Mac Pro Blue electric pressure washer for $129. Try and act surprised.
Explore a place where leading new home builders have their latest homes on display, showcasing 67 luxury home designs for first home buyers to family homes or grand designs to granny flats. A place where qualified building experts are on hand to answer any questions you have. It's now easy to explore. With 3 village locations, more builders and more homes on display than ever before. If you are thinking of building, explore Housing World.
Adam Scott has only picked up 1 shot on moving day at the Australian Open, but he's well in the hunt, trailing leader Adrian Maronk by 1 heading into the final day. Birdies were far easier to come by for Minwoo Lee, while Australian PGA champion Cam Smith missed the cut. Hannah Green and Miji Lee have some work to do to catch the women's leader Gai Shin at 13 under. Chaz Mostert has delivered an emotional victory for Holden in the manufacturer's second-last race on the supercars circuit. Mostert and teammate Nick Percat finished 1-2 on a dramatic afternoon in Adelaide, with James Courtney rounding out the podium. Holden has one final shot to lead the sport on a high tomorrow. John Florence has taken out the final Challenger Series event of the year in his native Hawaii. He started the final with a 9-point ride and didn't look back, beating Kanoa Igarashi, Michael Rodriguez and Aussie Ryan Callanan. A bitter end to the season for Merriweather Surfboard Club rider Morgan Sibulik, falling in the quarterfinals and failing to re-qualify for the championship tour. Queensland's Sophie McCulloch took out the women's event. The Newcastle Jets and Perth Glory have shared the points in the latest round of the A-League Women at number 2 Sports Ground. Perth scored first just before half-time. Lauren Allen got the Jets back on level pegging with a great effort just after the break. The Glory responded almost immediately to take a 2-1 lead. That was until Sophie Stapleford found Ashbrod again.
Levels it once again for Newcastle, and the substitutes combine brilliantly.
For most young rugby league players, the dream is to play in the NRL, but Mary Waugh's Lachlan Walmsley is proof you can also have a career abroad. In 2 seasons, the 24-year-old has become a cult hero in the UK and represented Scotland at the World Cup.
Moving to the other side of the world during the pandemic certainly paid off for Lachlan Walmsley, the boy from Merriwell, now Scotland's World Cup star.
I didn't expect it, but it was more of a hope and a dream, and lucky enough, my dreams come true. Got to play for Scotland in the World Cup, and I had a good year of Whitehaven and another good year of Halifax, and I'm heading back over there soon, so I can't wait to get back into it.
While results didn't go the Bravehearts' way, Walmsley says it was an experience he'll never forget.
Every kid wants to play NRL, and everyone wanted to represent New South Wales or Queensland, wherever you're from, but to be able to represent my grandpa and Scotland it's just as big, so I enjoyed it.
Now home for the first time in 2 years, it's far from a holiday for the 24-year-old, who's back on the farm helping Dad.
He got me to shear a sheep, just one, and I was like, that's enough, mate, that's all I'm going to do.
It's only a quick visit though, with Walmsley bound for the UK next week to begin pre-season with his Halifax teammates. Having scored 47 tries, including a record 30 last season, the winger hopes to add plenty more in 2023.
And I've got a good halfback over there, Joey Keys and Louis Dufresne and James Woodburn, all their back, their spine's just unreal, so if they can keep giving me the ball, I'll keep doing my best.
Out of Murray, NBN News.
Hamwicks went down to West in round 7 of Newcastle cricket despite the best efforts from their bowlers. West resumed this morning on 3 for 66 and Joe Price didn't hang around long, clean bowled by Ted Bartlett. He then dismissed Andrew Shakespeare for a duck. Aaron Wivell went for one too many. He was caught on 24 before Bartlett struck again on his way to figures of 5 for 53. Hamwicks were bowled out for 145 on day 1, so West's won by 3 wickets. In other matches, Wallsend beat Newcastle City by 1 wicket. Stockton scored a big win over Belmont. Merriweather beat their side and there was a draw between Charlestown and Toronto. And I feel distracted, Gab, because all I'm doing is thinking about the Socceroos.
Absolutely.
I've got to set the alarm.
Yes, if it, is any of us going to get smacked?
No.
Yes, but what about the weather after the game? We'll find out what's ahead right after the break.
Oh yeah, that's good. Great. Oh, okay, guys.
Keep them sweet with nougat, mince tarts, and panettone. You can't overcook Christmas. Aldi, good, different.
Holiday season at Telstra, you can enjoy your favourite Google apps on a great value range of 5G phones starting from just $299. Plus, get bonus Telstra Plus points when you recycle or trade in selected old tech. Visit Telstra today.
Here's little thanks for all the hard work. Cool. See, I told you it wasn't a total.
Value means more with all our frozen classics from just $1. Grab yours at Macca's today.
Some see a personalised plate. We see grit, determination and ambition. Someone who's goal-driven. More than a plate, it's an achievement. Create yours at myplates.com.au.
New variants are currently causing a surge in COVID-19 cases. There are some important ways you can protect yourself, others and our healthcare system. When leaving home, please wear a mask when indoors or in crowded places. Cover your cough and wash your hands. Remember physical distancing. Test if you have symptoms and stay home if you have COVID-19. Together we can help slow the spread. Visit australia.gov.au.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Something for everyone this Christmas. Now at Harvey Norman. Treat them to the Revitive Medic Circulation Booster. Only $399. Celebrate with the JBL Party Box 110 Portable Party Speaker. Only $445, save $50. Give them the gift of creating salon quality curls with the Dyson Air Up Multi-Styler. Complete long. While coffee lovers will appreciate the DeLonghi La Specialista Maestro with bonus deluxe experience gift pack. These and many more gift ideas in store and online. Now at Harvey Norman. Now. Refresh your home ready for summer holiday guests at Harvey Norman. Impress your guests with the classic Harley quick cover set, available in 4 gorgeous colours. Prices start from just $79. Refresh the spare bedroom with our latest queen-size cane bedheads. Choice of 3 great designs in 2 colours from $299 each. Ensure a great night's sleep with an Australian-made pocket spring mattress like the Walton from Sleepmaker. Available in 3 comfort feels for $899 each. Now at Harvey Norman. Now. Chance of hail? Never zero. The weather brought to you by NRMA Insurance.
Not half bad today, we'll take that one. We've got more to come. In fact, it is going to heat up and feel a lot more like summer. Port Stephens, it is a holiday hotspot and some lovely little back beaches like this to be found. It obviously gets very busy from here on in over the Christmas New Year period, but Boxy there looking fantastic. Tanya taking a great shot at sunset because it sets on the other side of those headlands. Let's take a look at the satellite image. It is very clear across Australia
Temperatures, heat building over the interior, but the low is still plaguing the coast, generating the onshore winds. They shifted around to the east during this afternoon, but look at that low off the Queensland coast. It's now retrogressing. That is, it's moving back towards the coast. That's not fantastic news for southeast Queensland, from the Sunshine Coast down to Coolangatta, more cloud showers, the same for the Tweed and around Byron. But for us, the warm air over the interior is starting to get forced our way because of that low over Victoria and the trough line forcing the heat our way. Temperatures today, beautiful. We love a 24, 25 and a 26 are there for Singleton. Looking at temperatures tomorrow, a little bit warmer. We'll have potentially a little bit of cloud. Those hues forming nicely again, but overall this is a great looking, comfortable summer's day being served up with swell again running at about 2 metres, but it will be wind affected with the onshores continuing, bending more around to the east, potentially east-northeast. You're looking at a high tide early, 6:30, so back to the low before 1. Sun's rise 5:36, down 7:50. Full moon coming up on Thursday. It'll be a great run to it. Look at the temperatures building. Summer is on the way, hitting us on Monday. Low to mid-30s there for the valley. Some stunning conditions, beautiful weather on the way for the valley, really heating up now. Central coast also getting a little taste of it. Not too bad throughout tomorrow, but a lot warmer as that pool of heat from Central Australia finally arrives our way. And finally tonight, like all good beauty pageant contestants, Nazar displayed poise and grace. She's the winner of a camel beauty contest held in the desert in Qatar, 24 kilometres away from the action at soccer's World Cup. A vet was on site to make sure the animal handlers weren't tempted to use fillers or Botox to enhance the camel's features. I hope she had good breath though. And that's NBN News for this Saturday. Dimity Clancy is up next with the current affair. Enjoy your evening, and of course, from all of us here, go the Socceroos. I hope you have yourself a wonderful and safe evening. Good night.